I think you've got it. Oh my god. Hi, okay, so we are at Kew Gardens. We went through the palace. We just tried to fly kites, and how did it go?
It's so much harder than it looks.
It's really hard, and then we got an audience of children that were excited for us to succeed, and I don't really know if we did.
It's a sport. It is just a sport. It is a total sport.
We had a couple people helping us, so we have decided to call it a pause right now. I don't want to say call it quits, but just put it on pause.
Pausing for research.
And I think we're going to switch gears for this video, so we'll keep you updated. Right, so we decided to make ashak for this video while I do a little voiceover and talk about it. If you haven't had ashak, it is an Afghan vegetarian dumpling. It is delicious and actually pretty easy to make, so yeah, let's jump right into the story and you'll kind of watch us go through the process. So we're going to be talking about The Kite Runner, which is a book by author Khaled Hosseini. It takes place in 1975 Afghanistan, where there is currently the Soviet invasion and an occupation over there. And there's kind of a collision between the different ethnic groups and the different beliefs that exist at the time. So between people that support the occupation by the Soviet Union, people that support more of that nationalist perspective, and then also within Afghanistan specifically, there's the conflict between the Hazara population and the Pashtun majority population. Even though the Hazaras are the largest ethnic group outside of Pashtuns, they still do experience a lot of discrimination. So this story centers around two characters, Amir and Hassan. Hassan is an ethnic Hazara. He lives in the house with Amir and his father. They are the servants there, even though Hassan and Amir are the same age and they're best friends. There is still definitely this power clash, this power divide that has happened there, and both of them kind of see that in their own ways. I think Amir, being at the upper end of that power dynamic, he definitely benefits from it more, but Hassan is kind of, the loyal friend. He's the Samwise from Lord of the Rings to the Frodo that is Amir in a way. But their relationship and what happens throughout the story has a significant impact on Amir's life as he kind of moves forward. But essentially, the story centers on these feelings of guilt, how to resolve guilt, what it means to be a good person and a bad person. Amir ends up asking Hassan to go run his kite during the festival and collect it after he wins. He gets first place. He wants to make his dad proud. And while Hassan is going to retrieve the kite, something atrocious happens to him that Amir actually witnesses and chooses not to get involved in or chooses not to try to protect him from. We all in our lives face feelings of guilt, maybe regret, maybe we should have spoken up for something and we didn't. But at the same time, it's hard to say if you had done something different, something could have happened differently, someone could have been helped or saved. I think in this case it's objectively true that Amir had a lot of power to protect Hassan and he chose not to, for feelings though that kids can all relate to, jealousy, wanting to be the best. Amir felt very threatened by Hassan because Baba, Amir's father, felt particularly close to Hassan, which we'll learn a little bit more about later. I also want to give a really quick trigger warning that we will be talking about things related to sexual violence, especially related to the book ban itself. Here's our ashak. I think it turned out pretty okay. It definitely tasted pretty good. Okay, everyone, can you hear me? I know. Can you hear me? I know it's really loud in here, but I am in a crowded place. I'm actually at the airport. I didn't just want to end the video there. I'm on my way to Italy. There's something else I want to film that's really fun and very connected to the book. So yeah, I'll see you guys there when I land. Okay, so now I'm in Italy. We just are on a little bike trip, motorbike, and all the cars, and then really excited for the special event that we're going to, and I can't wait to show you guys and talk a little bit more about the book. So as I was saying, this book has been challenged in at least 13 states In 2023 in Wisconsin, it was challenged for its depictions of sexual assault, depression, and attempted suicide. In places like Virginia, parent groups such as Mom for Liberties has pushed for reviews because of the book's sexual violence and themes of depression, anxiety. This book has also received a lot of criticism from the Afghan population, primarily due to the fact the author is he speaks from a more pro-US perspective. In the story, Amir and his father migrate to Silicon Valley, Fremont, California, where they live there, and it presents the US in a very positive light and a pro stance. And because of Khaled Hosseini's association as well, attending events with Netanyahu, he has been accused of being pro-Israeli or pro-Zionist, which does not really align with the majority of the target audience of the book is trying to hit. So this book has been challenged for a lot of these themes, and it's pretty consistent on both sides. I would say I completely disagree with it. As you guys know from my other videos, I never support censorship or a book ban, but I think especially with topics such as sexual assault, depression, attempted suicide, and I think also stories specifically related to difficult migration journeys, we have to make sure that these stories have a space. I also completely forgot to mention what this festival is. It is a kite festival in trivia. Okay, well, I am back. That was a crazy, kind of unorganized video. I had a lot of different ideas for it, and they kept, turning out a little differently than what you'd expect. And so we kept rolling with it. Here we are. I also did want to try it in a different type of format. Each video takes a lot of time to make, and I'm a very, very busy gal. And so I wanted to see how this went, and I think it turned out pretty okay, if I do say so myself. I hope you guys enjoyed the book as much as I did. I think so far it was my favorite book that we read through this entire book club so far, and it talked about some really, really important things. And I think if you weren't really familiar with some of the context of Afghanistan, what happened in Afghanistan, this was and is the perfect book for you. So if you haven't read it by the end of this month, there's still time. You can keep reading it. And if you do, I really want to hear about it and what you thought. Next month, we are going to be reading Thug by Angie Thomas, which is a phenomenal book about racial inequity within the police and criminal justice system. So I'm looking forward to reading that and hearing your guys' thoughts on that. The Substack article for that will be coming out this week, so stay tuned. And thank you so much for joining along with the banned book club. We have to keep reading like freedom depends on it, because it does. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.